David Hickie, a member for over 40 years, but also along the way, I was chief executive of the Society of the Environment, which was a chartered institution, a federation. And interestingly, I think Richard's put his finger on what the problem is. It's the charities, commissioners and others have been pushing organisations like ourselves towards what they call the ideal charitable thing, so you get half a dozen or less on a board. But that's completely wrong for a membership organisation like ourselves. It's the wrong organisation. I think time and time again, I can hear this, but that's our problem. Our problem is the structure, as Brian was saying, and I think Richard sort of really identified it's the problem. And actually, what we need to do is unpick that and say, no, we are a membership organisation. We don't need to go down that other route. That may be quite correct for charitable organisations that are giving away, £100 million or whatever, but that's not what we're in, not what we're about.
That's an extremely interesting point. So basically, to be clear, you're saying that being in a charity isn't the problem. It's the way that the charitable organisation is being imposed on a members' organisation.
This is just the standard route for a charity that's got £100 million that they're trying to give out in the most effective way. But that's not what we're about. I think Tom explained it really well, actually going back to the 1930s and saying what we're about. That's what we're about.
Yes.
And Brian mentioned it, that's what we want. I think we need to get back to that management structure. And it may be messy and it may be argumentative, but that's what it's about as a learning society we need to do. And I had 4,000 chartered members, chartered environmentalists, federation of 20 professional institutions, RTPI et al. But there was myself as chief executive, a number two, and two other staff. Very similar to the Peter Broadbent and Marion situation. We need a bit more, and we need a development officer and various others. We don't need a massive secretariat, excepting picking up, the point that for the regions do need secretarial assistance.
Yeah, Brian, we can hear you now.
Yes, well, we've got to get back to having strong branches networking with one another, so that there's a chance that the members can actually pass their opinion to headquarters and tell them what they want. There's no communication anywhere that's accessible to the members. Nothing at all.
And
let's cut it off.
Yeah, absolutely, because we are a membership organisation, and unfortunately, I think as a member of over 40 years, the Landscape Institute, which I'm incredibly proud to be a member and a landscape architect, the actual institute itself, or the secretariat as it now really is in London, is just irrelevant to me.
Yes,
which is wrong. Yeah.
David, that sounds terrific. Whereabouts are you based?
I'm based in the Midlands. Got a small landscape practice. We do various things here. But as I say, I've got sort of 5 years as CEO of a professional institution, and we were dealing with lots of others. So I got a lot of insight into what others were doing right and what they were doing wrong, including the fact that we don't need to beat ourselves up too much on this, because I was shocked at how many professional institutions had serious problems.
I know.
It was all buried.